Hey guys, welcome to this month's manga reading recap where I go over everything that I read in the month of June. So let's get started. The first thing is this really good isekai series I've been reading, Easygoing Territory Defense by the Optimistic Lord. Production magic turns a nameless village into the strongest fortified city. So this is volume 4 of the series, and of course the main character is in this new world, and he's reborn as a kid, but has memories of his past life, and so he's a lot more mature than his age leads on. And he basically gets kicked out of his father's kingdom, or the main capital city, and takes over this small podunk, village on the outskirts of the kingdom. And with his production magic, he's able to create buildings, extremely strong walls, and weapons, and things like that. And so he basically starts turning this no-name town into a place of where everything is going right for them, where it's the place to be. And in this volume, they get an emissary from the neighboring kingdom, and the king of that neighboring kingdom sends his daughter, and then also a noblewoman who's really good at fighting. And basically just to kind of test and see what Lord Van, the main character, is all about, whether or not this was a move by his father, to create a strong fortified city on the border between him and the other king's land, to maybe one day take over the kingdom or something like that. He's the other king is kind of worried, and so that's why he sends over his daughter and also this fighter girl. And it's pretty interesting because he gets to show off everything that's been going on in the city since the last volume. And of course, they are absolutely astounded at the rate of success that's going on in the city. Now, I will say, this is something I mentioned in the manga review for this one. I will say a lot of isekais go so quickly, and it's very much like a power fantasy for a lot of these main characters that are in these isekais. And I will say that is kind of the case in this one, but I will say also that it is, I think, a little bit more of a slower pace. It's a little bit more realistic in my opinion. Even though his production magic is extremely overpowered, he still needs a good team of supporting individuals with their own skills around him to really help blossom and flourish this city. He can't do it all on his own. And so, you have all these side characters that help him, like Esparta, his extremely wise and powerful butler, who's a really good mage, to the captain of the guard, D, who is extremely strong, and he in this volume ends up getting the title of Dragon Slayer, as if you know what goes on in the series, you'll know exactly what happens at the end of this volume, as they fight a dragon. It seems like as the town gets stronger and stronger, that the enemies that the magical beasts in the area that come and challenge the city are getting stronger as well. So it started with scaled lizards, then it became scaled wolves that were even stronger than lizards, and now it's a big dragon. So spoiler alert. But yeah, very good series apart from that. I love the camaraderie, and for it being kind of a more generic isekai, I think the characters are pretty memorable, and I'm excited to see these new characters and how they kind of join the squad and everything like that. But yeah, so definitely a good volume 4. I'm looking forward to volume 5, which I think volume 5 is out. I need to do some more research on that. But yeah, really good series. This is one of the first ones I read for the month of June. All right, next volume is Blood Blockade Battlefront. Volume 2. Just made a manga short on this one. This series is just so well made. It's crazy. I want to know what the release schedule was for these chapters, because it's just so well done. The writing is good. The art has that really awesome, kind of early-ish 2000s feel to it. It's a really good modern fantasy. It's kind of freaky. It's a little suggestive with some of the themes and everything. But in this volume, it's really only 3 chapters long. It has extremely long first chapter, extremely long third chapter of the volume, and the middle chapter 2 is kind of a setup for what seems like is going to be an arc for maybe the first main arc of the series. So I'm really excited to see where that goes. And the arc surrounds the villains of elder vampires. So traditional vampires from the human world, but it seems like they're connected to the Beyond in Jerusalem's Lot, which is of course the main city in this series. And the main group, Libra, as they are vigilantes, obviously want to stop the elder vampires in what they're trying to achieve, and they are uniquely equipped to be able to fight against them. Unlike the police force in Jerusalem's Lot, they have there's no way they can, combat these vampires. So, so this volume really sets that up. And we get a lot of good action, some more amazing characters. Like we get introduced to this character, I forgot what his name is, but he's part of Libra, but he's also a vampire hunter, and he's apparently a mentor to Klaus, which is of course the extremely powerful leader of Libra. And but the funny thing about this guy is he's dead serious all the time, but he has extremely bad luck because of the amount of curses that have been put on him by different magical beings that he hunts. But like it doesn't kill him because I guess he's just extremely lucky, but also the amount of curses on him make it to where a lot of bad things happen around him, which affects the people around him. So the rest of Libra are like scared of him basically anytime that he comes to town. And so he comes because of the elder dragon situation. And of course our main friend is Leo. I think his name is Leo. But of course he has the special eyes that can see things that everyone else cannot. And so they basically use his ability, they need his ability to help look down into the great abyss, basically, at the central train station in Jerusalem's Lot to see if Leo can find anything that pertains to vampires, right? So that he's looking for the scarlet thread, and of course he sees a lot of it. So it seems like the elder vampires are converging on Jerusalem's Lot. So we shall see what happens in volume 3. But yeah, very good. The art, the writing, just the paneling is great. The action, everything's so good in the series. So definitely enjoyed it and recommend. All right, so next thing that I read for the month of June is Medaka Kuroiwa is Impervious to My Charms. This one and the next one were both recommendations from a subscriber of mine, and I got through volume 1 of this series. It's a really good, kind of goofy, kind of funny rom-com with like some interesting pieces at play. The characters have their own like motivations and things going on, particularly the guy. He seems like he isn't interested in Medaka, as she's trying to basically flirt with him and get him to fall for her, just like everyone else in the high school. But it's not working, it seems to her. So, but you realize what's really going on behind the scenes with him, with Medaka. So, really interesting. We got introduced into a side character that's kind of like the biggest fan of the girl, and she has her own things that she's dealing with. So it's really funny and excited to see what's going on, what's going to happen in the next volume. And yeah, I for some reason I thought this was a 3-volume series, but it's actually not. It has like a lot of different volumes, so it definitely seems to go on. I wonder if it kind of wears out its charm as it just continues, or whether the plots and the character developments are able to really help continue the interest in the series. I'm guessing because it's that long, obviously like a lot of people liked it. So we'll have to see what the next volume brings. All right, so the next volume that I read was The Climbers. The Climber. Now this is an award-winning manga / novel. I think it was a novel before the manga actually came out, of course. So the manga is based on the novel, and it's about rock climbing. And it's more than just about rock climbing, right? Rock climbing is like the setting. Rock climbing is the main feature. But what the characters are going through, primarily the main character, it seems like it goes deeper than just the sport of rock climbing. So the main character is dealing with a lot of like past trauma, maybe some PTSD of things that he experienced at his past school. And he comes to this new school, which has some rock climbing enthusiasts, namely this one delinquent that he kind of gets butts heads with, and then this one teacher who tries to basically take the main character under his wing and to care for him and to introduce him to the world of rock climbing, because it seems like he's really taking an interest to it, and it seems like he is a natural and a gifted at it. So, and he's a gifted rock climber, and he does it so that he can feel free. As you can see in this panel right here near the end of the 3rd volume, this is an omnibus, where he's like climbing at the top of this his first ascent of an actual like real rock wall face, and he says, "This feels awesome. I can melt into the sky." and he just has like this elation, this feeling of elation and joy. And you know, it's and this character struggles with that, with feeling joy and peace, because of his guilt and things like that. That you kind of realize what happened in the in this omnibus with him. So you know, there's character motivations going on. There's definitely some character development that you can see budding, and really good rival series. It's a good, you know, kind of like a sports manga too, but underneath, it really does kind of focus on like trauma and overcoming guilt, overcoming you know, personal struggles and things. And so I really like how they how the creator used rock climbing as a way to kind of like symbolize that. So, you know, like climbing up a wall is climbing to overcome the issues in your life. So really cool, really good series. I'm excited to check out the next omnibus when it drops. So yeah. All right. And these last two are ones that I have not completed yet, but I am in the midst of working on them. So Natsumi's Book of Friends, I'm kind of in the middle of the first chapter of this volume 4. You guys know, if you're a fan of the channel, that I love this series. Such a good slice of life. It's a nice, peaceful manga. I enjoy reading this, you know, maybe if I'm feeling stressed out, anxious, or maybe before bed, you know, I'll read some of this one, and it's just a good feeling manga. So, and it continues to be that. So in this chapter, the main character is helping a yokai who's friend, who is also a yokai. They're both guarding this town, and one of them basically got attacked by the humans and has now become like an evil spirit. And so now this good spirit, the friend of that spirit, is trying to get Natsume to help relinquish and relieve the pain of its friend yokai. So really interesting. Excited to see what else goes on. In series like this, where they're more slice of life, I'm always excited to see like actual story developments and where they go. I know it's like, it doesn't happen like every chapter, right? As they're usually like almost like an anthology, you know, little like a chapter at a time, story at a time. But yeah, even you know, 4 chapters in, you are getting some development, some permanent characters that you get introduced, and some different plot points. So excited to see what this volume brings. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing that one. And then Red River, this is the omnibus 4, 5, and 6. Really enjoyed the first omnibus. This one is even better in my opinion, because it has a lot more battles and it has a lot more military stuff going on in it. Of course, it's a romance as well. It's also an isekai, and kind of like a historical fantasy. So it's got a lot going for it in terms of its genre. Main character Yuri is from Japan, and she gets basically called into the past, to the Hittite Empire, by the evil sorceress queen. And her and Kiel, who is the prince, basically throughout these chapters and volumes, it seems like, you know, they're trying to overcome the evil plots of the queen, as she wants to basically kill the prince, and she doesn't want him to become the next king, essentially. So, and Yuri is extreme help to him, and she has certain abilities, right? Or she has a certain status that helps the kingdom, and it basically goes against what the queen sorceress, what her plans are. So of course she hates Yuri, and in this series you're introduced, or in this omnibus you're introduced to a new kingdom. I forgot what they're called. It starts with an M, and they it's like the Medianites or something like that, and of course it's led by an evil prince itself, right? He's the prince of darkness, as it says, and it basically tries to overtake the Hittite Empire by invading from the south. I love all like the military, like the classic like Bronze Age military stuff. So it tries to invade, but fortunately the prince Yuri and the prince's brother, and of course an army, are able to dispel the invasion. And then in this newest chapter that I'm getting into, the start of chapter 5, or volume 5, is now they're basically going on revenge, and they're trying to overthrow that empire that tried to invade the south. So it seems like they're going to have another big battle, an altercation with the Prince of Darkness of the other empire. And then of course the Queen Sorceress, she's scheming, always scheming. So we'll see what happens. The romance is kind of sweet, and yeah, everything about the historical fantasy I love. So yeah, I'm gonna continue through this series about a third of the way through, and of course I'll let you guys know in the upcoming manga review short, how I enjoyed it. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. This month has been a good month for reading. I've also been playing some games on the Switch too, so I haven't been reading as much as last month. Also a honorable mention is I've been reading a lot of Shonen Jump, continuing, of course, One Piece. My wife and I have been reading, and some other new series, the new baseball manga called Harakuza Mound, and then some other series like Martial King and Odor of the Flame, Kagurabachi. Of course, I'm reading those too. So, but yeah, this is a little bit of a smaller month reading for me, but everything that I read was enjoyable. I don't think anything like kind of stuck out, you know, in a negative sense. And of course, this upcoming month of July, I am going to be reading a lot as well. So, got a beach trip coming up later this month, and so I'll be reading a lot to and from and at the beach, getting caught up on some series, and of course, you all will hear about it. So what about you guys? What have y'all been reading this month? Please let me know down in the comments. I would love to start a conversation with you about what you've been reading, what you think I should be getting into this next month as well. And once again, guys, thank you so much for watching to the end. And if you like content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks, y'all.